Yo, man. What it do, y'all? How y'all living? How y'all feeling? You feel me? We back in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? We back in the flesh here. As y'all see, man, we coming totally different. First off, got the White Sox hat. I ain't from Chicago. I'm from Kansas City. Y'all know the word. Speaking of, y'all can't tell I'm from Kansas City. The Super Bowl poster is gone. It's down. We went a little different. We still got Cuzzo live in the flesh. We still got Kobe Bean live in the flesh, you know. We moved down. The, and I mean the, greatest college football player ever, Reggie Bush, live in the flesh, man. Sucks my man couldn't translate to the league. We might have a video about it. We might not. Got the man right here, Mike himself. We missing the third GOAT, right, which is Brian. Real quick insert. The GOAT, to me, people might want to know, the GOAT, the greatest player to ever play, you give me one pick out of every NBA player ever to build my team around. Kobe Bean, he's going first. If I'm talking and I'm in a argument, we going to talk hoops, who is the greatest player to play? LeBron James, okay? Kobe Bryant is my GOAT, mine. I'll argue till I'm blue in the face. He's mine, my GOAT. The GOAT of basketball? LeBron James. You talk longevity, you talk branding, you talk winning, you talk records. You know, he might be the greatest scorer, not greatest, but like the number one scorer once all said and done. He's moving up in assists, he's moving up in rebounds. All around player, he could defend. Unstoppable force. On and on and on. LeBron James. Right? Let's get that out. Mike, I got some people watching who like, what are you saying right now? Let me tell you this. I'm 22 years old. I'm a 99. I ain't no 2000, baby. I'm a 99. Don't play me. But I ain't really know Mike. I knew Kobe. Kobe was my Mike. It's just a simple fact that if you know basketball, you know Michael Jordan. You know what kind of man he was. He was a bad man. We watched that documentary. But I don't really do stuff I don't know. I don't really talk about things I don't know. I know Kobe. I watched Bron's greatness. I watched Bron in Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals against Boston, 45-15. Your legacy on the line. That's trifling. I watched Shaq leave Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Kobe had to go through some years, assemble a team, get smacked by Boston. I seen him come back and beat Boston. I seen it. Greatness. I seen Kobe hit some of the most difficult shots. I seen Kobe tear his Achilles, get up, shoot 2 free throws, walk off the court. I seen it. It's greatness. I seen it. I didn't watch no highlights. I seen that live. It's the only reason why Mike is third. It's the only reason. So it's a whole different video. I can have I can have that later. Whole different video. And then the man right here, man, the early Randy Moss. He was like AI for football. This game right here, they beat the Packers in the wild card. He had 4 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. And after he scored his final one to beat them, because it was like an upset. They were the worst team. I think they were like 9-8 that year. Green Bay was like 12-4 maybe. Don't quote me on Green Bay's record, but everything, the stats, everything accurate. You can quote me on that. Randy went on him on the goalpost. Pulled his pass down. Come on, man, that's greatness. I seen it. I seen it with my own too. So I just want to let y'all know what's up with the background, man. Understand, we're going to get 2 more. I ain't going to tell y'all what they are, but we will have 2 more posters. Maybe not the next time you see me, but the next time, you dig. And then I don't know if I said that already, but you know, we got Cuzzo right here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so y'all can make sure y'all see it live in the flesh. But that's the background. Make sure I get some Chief stuff up here because y'all know we got to rep the city. Next time y'all see me, I got to have my KC fitted. But without further ado, man, today's video, we have top 5 point guards ever. That's tough. That's so tough. Top 5 ever. All right. So I want to say this video is hard, okay? Because, one, this is my list, right? I don't go off of what everyone says. I don't go off what a great is. Because Jerry West is our logo, and he played without a 3-point line, okay? I don't, what's great to everybody might not be great to me. So, there will be people who are on this list because the way they played point guard at the time when they played it, right? point guard has changed, right? The role. It went from really passing, getting your team involved, to then looking for your shot, right? Being a leader. So now a point guard, so many people, there's not a point guard, all right? Like, very few point guards still in the game today. Ricky Rubio, Chris Paul. I would call John Moran a point guard. I would say he's still a point guard. Who else, man, with that ability, with that passing, playmaking ability? Yeah, you see the list is small. A lot of guards now are hybrids. They can pass, but they can score, and they look to score with their first option, but they're willing passers. Not many old-fashioned point guards as far as I'm passing, probably, the numbers might be the same, but a lot of guards now are averaging like 25. Back in the day, from a good guard, his best year, you're going to get like 17 and 9. You know what I'm saying? Around that 20 and 9 and 11 range of assists. That's what the guards used to be. So there would be some people on here because when they played guard and how they played it. And there will be people who aren't on here because when they played guard and how they played it. Like I said, I got another example. My homie always say AI hit Michael Jordan with a basic left to right. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to my man Mike. But with the, like my man Famous Low say, with the Bing Binks in today's game, all the hezzies, the up and unders, Mike might be lost. You know what I'm saying? He just might be because the game has progressed. It's a different game than it was. So the game evolves. The players take it to a new level. So this is my 5. And of course, I'm going to give y'all reasons on why it's my 5, right? Because I believe that this 5 is the right 5, I think. Mix in a little new school, a little old school. But without further ado, number 5. Arguably my favorite point guard of all time. If you know the way I played, if you know what I value in basketball, you will understand this answer. Steve Nash, right? Steve Nash coming in at number 5 was the best point guard. I mean, was so deep, man. The thing about the point guard is so difficult because the point guard is usually the most loaded position, right? When I go through and say the greatest whatever position, the shooting guard is going to have a good one because you got Mike, Kobe, D-Wade, AI. The center, because you got you all of them, man. Shaq, Wilt, Hakeem, Kareem. I mean, the fours are good too. KG, Timmy, Dirk. But you see what I'm saying? The threes too. But the guards, there's so many, bro. At a lot of the positions, once you get to like 4 or 5, you might run off. But the guards, so many guards. And I want to give out honorable mentions to Kyrie Irving. Right? He couldn't crack the list. Derrick Rose. Who else could I put on this list, man? Just greatest to do it when it's all said and done. Honorable mentions, yeah. Those 2. Darren Williams, I could put him on there. He was a problem. J. Kidd. Jason Williams. Baron Davis, Penny Hardaway. You feel me? Real problems, bro, who couldn't make this list just because of how it is. So when we talk Steve Nash, back to Steve, career average, 14-8. Like I said, back then, that's what you're getting. Back when he was with Phoenix, he had a little stint with Dallas, but really with Phoenix, man, when he grew into himself, Amari, Sean, Richardson was on there, Barbosa, Raja Bell, Boris Diaw, a squad, right? But you run into some of them dudes on that Western Conference. You run into the Spurs. You ran into the Lakers back then. They could never get over the hump. And they always had some problems hindering them from getting over that hump, But Steve Nash going to give you a solid average of 14-8. That's solid. Back-to-back MVPs. Back-to-back MVPs in a crowded era, right? One of them should have went to Kobe, I would say that, but because Kobe averaged like 35 that year, but the reason Steve Nash got it was because like Amari Stoudemire went down. He still took his team to the playoffs with like a top 4 seed, I think. So, when your other star go down, you got to look to see. Steve Nash was a pass-first guy, so now he got to take a larger bulk of the offense. And I could see why he got it. I wouldn't knock it. Sean Marion, me, basketball head, I'm watching every interview, every podcast, everything. Sean Marion said Steve Nash could have easily went out and averaged 30. 30's a lot, but Steve Nash was one of the only guys to shoot 50, 40, 90 in his career. He's so efficient, right? And he played for 18 years. So he wasn't quite at 50%. He was at 49. That hurts for the records. You feel me? That 49% hurts for the records. Because he could have been in that 50, 40, 90 category. But he was 49 from the field, 42 from the three-point, and 90 from the free throw. He's efficient at every level. 3-level scorer. You foul him, that's 2 points you're giving him. He can make the right play every time, make everybody else around him better. And, his leading style, he wasn't like out in front. He wasn't going to be in your face. He wasn't going to do all that. He's going to lead by example. He's going to cheer you on. He's going to always encourage you. If you 0 for 11, he's encouraging you. If you miss it, you just 0 for 12. That's it. But he believes you're going to make the shot. So like I said, 18 years, almost a part of that 50, 40, 90 club. His best season was 18.6 points. So if we round, which I tend to do, math, 5 and over, 5 and up, raise the score. 4 or less, same old pest, So 18 to 6, that's 19. And 11.6 assists, which is 12. So essentially his best year was 19 points a game, 12 assists a game. That's great. That is great for a guy who will be a Hall of Famer, is a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry, Steve Nash. For a guy who is a Hall of Famer, but just could never reach that pinnacle to win a title. Some people don't understand that, man. Not winning a title does not mean that you weren't good. It just means that whether it's injuries, whether it's foul calls, whether it's a lead you blew, whether it's whatever, it just didn't ever work out for you. Whether you missed your window, whatever. Steve is one of those guys. Easily in my top 5. We're going to mix it up. Number 4, we going old school. Isaiah Thomas. Not little IT. 6'1", 6'2" IT. Back in the day. Them bad boys days, man. So Isaiah Thomas, his average, 19-9. Right? It was like 19 point something. It was 9 point something, but they were low numbers, so I rounded down, right? It was like probably like 19.2, 9.3, something. But 19 points a game, 9 assists a game. This back 80s, 90s days, right? Now this Isaiah Thomas, he gritty, he getting on the floor, he talking trash, he playmaking, streaky shooter, so don't let him get hot, please. And one of those guys who can affect the game at every level. And like a two-way. Score, facilitate on the offensive end, turn around on defense and say, oh, he's having a good night. I might not be able to stop him, but we got to make it hard on him. We got to right now, or he's going to beat us by himself. So his best season was the 84-85 season. He averaged 21 in 14. 21 and 14. That's his best season. That's amazing. Truly amazing. To average 21 and 14. Nothing you can really say about that. 21 and 14 speaks for itself. Like, that's why I'm sitting here trying to muster up the words to talk about it. The man averaged 21 and 14. You don't have to extend on that. 2-time NBA champ. One-time finals MVP. So, obviously, we looking at the resume. He's showing up in the clutch, okay? He got 2 rings, and one of them, he was the leader of that to get it. One-time finals champ. One-time finals MVP. I'm sorry. And an impressive stat right here. Leads wins between him and Mike. 32-16, right? If you seen the documentary, we seen that Mike had a... And forget the documentary. If you seen Michael Jordan's In His Airness, right? Way, way back. That's just... The Last Dance is a remake of His Airness. People don't know that. I've been seeing everything about The Last Dance. I've seen His Airness. So... Back then, that the Pistons were a tough out for Mike. And he couldn't beat them by himself. They would just almost build that wall, like how they do with Giannis now, and just say, like, Michael Jordan won't beat us, bro. Somebody else better, because Michael Jordan won't. So to beat him in that, he beat him in the playoffs. He has a successful record against Mike in the regular season and in the postseason. One of the few players back in that era to do that, because we know Mike pretty much ran his era of basketball easily. Despite the retirement, despite the other years, I don't care. He ran. He stopped a lot of Hall of Famers from winning championships. He did not stop Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas was in the league for 13 years. right? I got the years of all these guys in the league. I'll explain that a little later. All right, so we come in at number 3. Fitting. CP3. The point guard himself. Half man, half amazing. You dig? If you don't know before Clippers CP, please go do your research. Even if you know Clippers and own CP, you in a pretty good setting. You in a pretty good space. But if you don't know New Orleans Hornets CP, you know, MVP runner-up MVP CP, you got to go get acquainted, man. My man CP career average 18 and 9.5. Right? 18 and 9.5. Best season was the 08-09 where he averaged 23 points a game, 11 assists a game, and 3 steals. This is the first time on a guard where I done had to get by the points and the assist and talk about another way he impacted the game. The man had 3 steals to average. But really, I think he averaged like 2.6, 2.7. But like I said, on this week round, I think, we gonna get a man his flowers. Let's up it a little bit. So it's 3. It might have been like 2.6. But 23 a game, 11 assists and 3 steals that year, everywhere. He's all over the court. Yeah, man, that's not. I mean, come on, man, that's amazing. He got a Rookie of the Year, 9-time All Defense, and a 6-time Steal Champ, 11-time All Star, and he has played 15 plus because he's still playing till this day. So when I talk about Chris Paul, man, we talk about you teaching a kid how to play point guard, you teaching a kid how to run the pick and roll, you're pulling up Chris Paul film. Pick and roll maestro. King manipulator of defense, whatever nickname you want to give him. I'm making these up on the fly because when you see him, he's always in control. I'm telling y'all, go back, watch them Hornets days. The midi that we see now that's so crucial, it developed way back then, okay? Chris Paul was one of those guys who, whatever you do, you go under the screen, he can shoot it. You try to fight through the screen too much, you trailing him, he can get the body, get the contact, pull up for the midi, throw the lob, make every pass, and is a magician with the ball. I mean, the fake spins on the pick and roll, fake behind the backs, the behind the back through the legs, whatever you want from a point guard, he is the guy. Where there are a lot of teams where you might have some guys who can get the ball off the glass and take it. Some 3s, some 4s. But when you play with Chris Paul, you need to get that board and look for him. Because once you get him the ball, everybody's job is already easier because he knows where everyone will be, should be, and he knows how to read a defense and manipulate a defense. And let me tell you this first, coming from a Warriors fan. I was a Warriors fan, I hopped on late. You can call it what you want, but I'm still a Warriors fan right now. Go Steph, for sure. The best guard in the league. Conversation for a different day. But the Rockets were one Chris Paul hamstring away from sending my boys packing. It was 3-2 when CP went down with that hamstring, and the level he played at, and the shots, the difficult shots, in the way that they weren't able to stop that pick and roll with a lob to Clint Capella or a midi by Chris Paul or a sidestep. Later in his years, he developed that sidestep, So much like Steve Nash, always in control of the game. Chris Paul a little more fiery. He got a little bit of Isaiah Thomas in that sense, as far as like he might not be so uplifting to you. He gonna get on you, He's gonna yell at you, but that's because he demands greatness from all his guys. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So Chris Paul, if it's anybody out here and they trying to teach their kids how to play point guard, because the way I was taught way back in the day by my dad, he taught me facilitate first. That's what the point guard used to be. Come out, get your team involved. Look for your shots, right? But make sure you're getting your team involved in that. Prime example, Chris Paul. Coming in at number 2, the Magic Man, Irving Magic Johnson, I'm sorry. 19 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 11 assists a game. He might be Russ before Russ because they both couldn't shoot. I don't know why they don't talk about it. They talk about Oscar Robertson because he actually averaged the triple doubles. But Magic Johnson, come on, man. Who was it? Kareem go down in the finals. Magic got a jump for ball. He's a 6'9" point guard. I shouldn't have said Russ. I should have said Ben Simmons before Ben Simmons because they both can't shoot. It don't matter who we talk about. They can't shoot. But Magic, his best season was the 86-87, where he averaged 24 points a game, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds a game. 24, 12, and 6 back in 86-87. And I would not recommend showing your kids Magic Johnson highlights because when you take them to that tournament over the weekend, I know y'all seen that meme, and y'all know what I'm talking about. But showing your kids Magic Johnson highlights would not be in anybody's best interest because he'll come out throwing passes behind the head, behind the back, under the legs. He might travel. He gonna double dribble a couple times trying to pull off what Magic was doing. The hang time he had to be able to do this in the air, over the shoulder to a dump off, wrapping around people's back. Magic Johnson, man, 6'9". The first player that tall to be able to do that much. Now, like I said, the game is evolving, the game is elevating. We'll have one of those every 3 years in the draft. But understand that they originated from the man himself, Magic. Missed 4 seasons due to HIV. We ain't got to get into that. Just decisions he made took away from 4 years of greatness that he could have had. That sucks. But he a 3-time MVP, 3-time Finals MVP, 5-time NBA champ, and a 12-time All-Star. Let's run it back. 3-time MVP, just dolo, regular season. 5-time NBA champ, 5 of them. 5. 3 of them. He won the MVP. He led them 3 times. Way back in the day. We don't talk about him because, everybody want to talk about the HIV. That's not the most important thing here. The man was a hooper. Off the court, I don't worry about off the court personal life. You get between them lines, Dennis Rodman treatment. I'm worried about what's in between them lines. He had 18 triple-doubles in a season. Again. Today is normal. Russell Westbrook, MVP, I think he had like 44. Luka's going to get up in those numbers. You know what I'm saying? James Harden will be in those numbers. Draymond might not be at 18. He might crack like 10. Giannis might crack about like 7. Bron will be in those numbers, right? That's today's NBA. Back then, 86, 87, 80s to 90s, nobody's getting 18 triple-doubles unless your name is Magic Johnson. So he's 101, man. He 101. My bad, man. Something popped up. So he 101 of that, and he played 13 years. Let me get to this last person, then I can tell y'all about why I'm putting the years in there. Coming in at number 1, the greatest point guard to ever do it. That man Wardell, Stephen Curry. The greatest, the only unanimous MVP. Racking in what he averaged, 30 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. Wow, that's nasty. Number 2 in all time, made 3 points. Career far from over. He got 4 or 5 years still on there. He at number 2. He might be a number 1 when he done. Not just 1. He's so far ahead. They going to have to shoot a game. They going to have to shoot a season where they only attempt threes to get that man record because he's crazy. But the career, my man Steph, he averaged 24 and 6. Very good considering when Steph came in, not highly recruited, ankle problems. When he found his footing, he just found his footing. A lot of these guys were good from the start. Good. Elevated. Steph came in with Monte Ellis and them dudes way back when. And he had it, but he didn't quite have it yet. And then, like I said, going through injuries, we all know the Madison Square Garden game. He had 54, put him on the map. But really, the year before, they played Denver in the playoffs. Catch them highlights. Watch Stephen Curry. I can't remember the year, but young Steph, young Clay, young Dre. They played Denver. Kenneth Faried is still on Denver. Please watch those highlights. He grew into himself right there. So, his best season, like I said, unanimous MVP. 2015-2016 scoring champ. That was the 30 ball. 3-time champ. 2-time MVP. 7-time All-Star. 1-time still champ. Scoring champion. 3-time champ. 2-time MVP. 7-time All-Star. The scoring champion, I'm gonna take pride in for bro because he got 30. So many times you get 28.7, 27.3, 29.2. But I mean, if you over that 26, they like you average 30. No. He averaged 30.1. Like I said, we went down to 30, just 30. But 30 to actually have it, not to have 27, 28, or 29, and people say he averaged 30. He truly averaged 30 in a year where I think solidified him to be the greatest point guard ever. He changed the game of basketball single-handedly. Changed the way it was played single-handedly. Second in made threes all time. And he has been in the league for 11 plus years. Plus, he's still playing till this day. That's why the plus is there. Right? So my list from 1 through 5. I did 5 through 1, but when I redo it, we got Steph, Magic, Chris Paul, Isaiah Thomas, Steve Nash. Those are my 5. I put the years in there just to tell y'all, if y'all play the game the right way, understand what a point guard is at that time. Right? A point guard now is not what Steve Nash and Chris Paul were. Right? A point guard now is Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Damian Lillard, LaMelo Ball, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Some guys who can really get in their bag offensively and pass when needed. Still make the right decision, but look to score. So I just put the years in there to tell y'all, man, if you play the way it's supposed to be played, man, and do things that you should be able to do for your team, rather it's shoot, score, be the battery in somebody's back when it's a slow night on a Tuesday of a triple of a back to back, and y'all playing the New Orleans Pelicans. You know, this is in the future, not right now because they're a solid team. But play it the right way, man. You're going to have double-digit years, probably 15 plus for all the great ones, right? That's it, man. Make sure y'all leave some comments. Let me know y'all top 5. Let me know who I'm missing. I'm interested to hear. Let me know if y'all like my honorable mentions in there. Y'all, there'll be pictures by them, so y'all make sure y'all remember that. But here we go, man. Make sure y'all watch the last video right here. Subscribe to the channel right here. And I'm going to see y'all next week. We out.